ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
Today, you are connected more than ever. Your friends, your family, your life. Having a partner that understands banking is what you do on your time, anywhere you like. It's about being connected, which is easy with convenient locations in your community. Understanding that sometimes you need to speak to real people with real answers. Banking partners with the services you desire, who understand how you want to bank. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set for Game 2 here between ICC and Snead State. ICC wins it 5-4 on a walk-off wild pitch. Connor Lewis scored the game-winning run for the Indians in Game 2. Let's take a look at today's Coca-Cola starting lineups, and let's start for your Indians here. It'll be DeSantis playing left field, leading things off. Krieger will be the third baseman. He'll be batting second. Batting third will be the first baseman, Medlin. Batting fourth and catching will be Thomas. Batting in the number 5 spot will be the DH Hall. Wallace will be in right field. He'll be batting 6th. Lancaster will be in center field. He'll be batting 8th. Lewis will be batting, Lancaster will be batting 7th. Lewis will be batting 8th. He'll be playing shortstop. And Sandroni will be batting in the number 9 spot. He'll be the second baseman. And then Austin King will be getting the start here for the Indians in Game 2. Austin is a 6'5", 205-pound freshman. He's out of Fulton, Mississippi. He went to Itawamba HS. That's where he played ball. You just saw Lee Adams there walking down to take photos. You can see photos on ICCimages.com. You can now get digital downloads for only $1 there on ICCimages.com. So we're just moments away from that Choice Pond opening pitch, part of the Choice Pond pregame show. We're getting set for Game 2. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm surprised we're being able to get this game started. I was expecting rain to move back into the area. And to be honest with you, I'm really surprised we're playing today, as the weather has been unfavorable this afternoon with the Lady Indians. They were able to get a 6-4 win in their first game against Marion Military. They'll be starting up soon, hopefully on the Blue Channel, as we've had a few little hiccups this afternoon with the server providing the live stream. As King is taking his warm-up tosses here. It'll be Rich, Schofield, and McCollum due up here to start the top of the first inning. Rich will be the DH. He had 3 hits in the first game of the day. Schofield, the center fielder, and McCollum will be the right fielder. So we're getting Twitter updated here.
22, Jacob Rich.
As we're going to get things started here, it's going to be Jacob Rich to start things off here for Snead State. And that first pitch coming at 3:53, and it's the ball. That pitch missing, ball 2. 2-0 now is the count here, or do you call it a strike? So King's pitch coming. Fastball. Missing low. 2-1 now is the count. So, yeah, that pitch before that was called a strike. Got to get used to this new umpire and his cadence here. 2-1 offering coming. Fastball, ground ball. Third baseman's coming up. And they're going to call it a foul ball. Said it was fouled off his foot. And, well, they stopped the play. And now Snead's coach is going to ask the first base umpire to see if it was off his foot there. Well, this could be an adventure, considering the first base umpire is now the guy that was behind the plate that clearly missed a safe call at home that almost cost the Indians the ball game. ICC was able to come back and win it. And we're going to see what the call is here. And they are going to say it fouled it off his foot. So 2-2 is the count here. Well, as we said, just like these players and coaches, this is the first game. Now Coach Collier's going to come out here and get after the umpires as well. So we'll have a little bit of exchange between coaches, a little gamesmanship, if you will. And Coach Collier is already not pleased with the guy at first after taking away what was thought to be a home run and then a run as well. So it really took 2 runs off the boards for the Indians. Coach Collier going to come out and just say his piece to the home plate umpire, and the home plate umpire is going to say, I hear you, let's play ball. So 2-2 now is the count for the DH, Rich, leading things off here in game 2. That pitch missing low for a ball. 3-2 now is the count. That might have been the highlight of the year, just seeing her look back at the camera and immediately duck down. 3-2 pitch, ground ball, shortstop going to have to hurry. Throw across the way in time for the putout. 6-3 on the putout of Rich. 1 out now, and this will bring up Schofield, the center fielder.
Zontaria Schofield.
So 1 out, nobody on now. The center fielder will dig in here. Austin King on the hill here for the Indians, getting his collegiate debut, and that pitch across for a strike. We talked about Austin, a local product out of Fulton, Mississippi. He graduated from Itawamba AHS, listed as a pitcher and outfielder. Beautiful breaking pitch across for a strike. He's 6'5", 205, so a tall, rangy pitcher here. 0-2 pitch coming. Fastball missing low for a ball. And 1-2 now is the count. One-two pitch coming. And it's a beauty. Strike 3. Batter knew it was a strike as soon as he caught it, and he headed towards the dugout. That's a Renaissance Bank strikeout, the first of the game for Austin King, and now there's 2 outs.
Braden McCullum.
So now McCullum will come to the plate. This will be the right fielder with 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the first. Pitch paints the corner for a strike. Austin King filling up the strike zone early here in the top of the first. Got a ground out to short to start it, and then a strikeout looking for the second out. Swung on and missed. Strike 2 there, and boy, you saw a big grin on the face of Austin King after that pitch. He could be feeling pretty good here early goings. 0-2 pitch coming from King, and it's outside for a ball. Trying to see if he couldn't get him to chase one. You hear the ICC dugout across the way, get a little fired up here, looking for that 3rd out of the inning. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Fastball just missing outside. Boy, I tell you what, the entire infield for ICC started heading towards the dugout thinking that was strike 3, but instead called a ball. 2-2 now is the count. Foul ball will stay at 2-2 for McCullough, the right fielder. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the first, scoreless in game 2. And there's a ground ball, hard hit to the shortstop. Gets it, throws it across the way in the dirt, but dug up nicely. Second time that the Indians get a 6-3 put out. And the inning, 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors.
In the inning for the Parsons.
We'll move to the bottom of the first.
No hits,
ICC
no
will send
errors.
to the plate DeSantis, Krieger, and Medlin in the bottom half of the inning as we'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation. Etowah Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton.
I love these soft pretzel twists.
They're so soft and salty, I like to sample them. That was a tongue twister!
Here's another one. Peter Piper picked a pack of perfect pretzels.
Hold up. Your last name is Piper?
Try a new warm and buttery soft pretzel twist with the Sonic Fruit Fizz. This is how you Sonic.
And welcome back. Now as we move to the bottom of the first inning. 0-0 is your score here in game 2. On the hill here for Snead State is going to be Cheatwood. So he's taking his warm-up tosses and a throwdown, and we'll be ready to go here for the bottom of the first inning. If you're just now joining us, ICC won the first game on a walk-off wild pitch as Connor Lewis started the bottom of the 7th with a single, advanced from first to third on an error on the throw to first, and then back-to-back intentional walks, and then the next couple of pitches a wild pitch, and Lewis was able to score all the way from third to give the Indians a 5-4 victory. Swinging on the first pitch is Trey DeSantis. He had a nice ball game against Calhoun. Trey, a 5'9", 205-pound outfielder. He's listed as a freshman from Laurel, Mississippi. He went to West Jones High School. First pitch fouled off for strike 1. That pitch high for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Cheatwood looks like he got a little bit of heat to his fastball. That one just a little too high. And got away from the catcher. Nobody on base to really do any damage. 1-1 now is the count to the left fielder DeSantis. 1-1 offering coming. DeSantis kind of buckled the knees, shook his head yes. And the umpire agreed. 1-2 now is the count here on Trey. It's DeSantis, Krieger, and Medlin due up here in the bottom of the first. Scoreless contest, ICC and Snead State here in game 2. This one's scheduled for 7 innings as well. Softball going on the other side of campus. ICC wins 6-4 over Marion Military in the first game of the day. And DeSantis can't find the breaking pitch, goes down swinging for the first out of the ball game. That's a Renaissance Bank strikeout for Cheatwood.
Now batting the third baseman, number 15, Kyle Krieger.
And now up will be Kyle Krieger, the third baseman. So Krieger will dig in here with 1 out and nobody on. We're in the bottom of the first, game 2. There's a shot that's going to be a flare out there. Boy, you saw the water fly up that time. And it's going to be a single. And a good way to start the contest there as Krieger just goes with the pitch,
Now
put it out there, was able to
11,
find his way out
Medlin.
to second base, and now up is going to be Midland, the first baseman. I don't know if you saw it on the Little Caesars replay there, but the water just splashed up, and that's what we talked about. The ball, anything out to the outfield is going to be an adventure this afternoon. Waiting for a stormtrooper to march across the field. Doesn't see any. One out now and a runner on first for Medlin. Well, Medlin was tough luck in the first game of the day. He had a home run that, if you judge him by the right fielder for Snead State, was a fair ball, a delay call, called it foul, and he had to come back, and then he scores on a wild pitch, and you saw the replay, and he scored on a wild pitch, and the umpire called him out, said he never touched the bag, but if you saw the replay from game one, and you'll see it on YouTube later this evening, yeah, he was safe by a mile. So tough luck there by Medlin, but ICC able to come over that and get the win. Medlin takes a look at that pitch, low 4-ball, 2-0 now is the count. You hear these winds continue to blow. For ICC, you hope it just doesn't blow up a storm this afternoon. So we're trying to get in a couple of baseball and softball games this evening here in Fulton, a chilly evening. Fastball upstairs, 4-ball, 3-0 now is the count here to Medlin. Thomas, the catcher, is on deck for ICC. Checks the runner at first. Now the snap throw over. Oh, that was close. Gotta be careful over there if you're Krieger. Don't want to get picked off. A pretty good pickoff move by Cheatwood over the way. Another thing you gotta be careful of, you just don't know what that infield umpire is going to call, because I don't really know he knows what he's going to call. But he's been consistently inconsistent for both teams today. 3-0 pitch right down Broadway. 3-1 now is the count here, as Medlin was taking the whole way that time. Three balls, one strike, one out, and a runner on first here in the bottom of the first. Game 2, ICC and Snead State. Swung on, healthy swing that time, comes up empty. 3-2 now goes the count here on Medlin. Remind you, our next broadcast here on Let's Go ICC TV will be Monday night as we travel with basketball to East Mississippi. Playoff implications on the line for both the Lady Indians and the Indians. That'll start at 6 o'clock. Snap throw over to first, not in time. Ball actually kind of just fell out of the first baseman's glove. Lady Indians almost in a win and you're in situation. Of course, they do end the season Thursday against Northwest. That game also will be available here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Low hit and run action put on that time by the Indians. Ball fouled back. Will stay at 3-2 with Medlin at the plate and Krieger over at first. You hear the wind starting to pick up a little bit. The wind is blowing basically foul pole to foul pole, left to right. It has been gusting in the ballpark occasionally this afternoon. You got two different levels of wind. There's a lot of wind up in the top of the trees. And a big healthy swing that time as Medlin just could not hold off on that one. And he goes down swinging for out number 2. That's the second Renaissance Bank strikeout.
Number 6, Drew Thomas.
For Cheatwood, and now up will be Drew Thomas, the catcher. Well, let's hope that song doesn't spark any rainstorms, as little Garth Brooks action there for Drew Thomas, the catcher. 2 outs and a runner on first. Thomas swings at a breaking pitch and comes up empty. 0-1 now is the count here to Thomas. If Thomas were to reach, then we'll go to the DH Hall on deck for the Indians. Fastball, a little low for the umpire's liking. 1-1 now is the count. One ball, one strike, 2 outs, and a runner on first. We're in the bottom of the first, scoreless ball game here in game 2 between ICC and Snead State. Cheatwood set to deliver. Runner goes, and the throw is in time. Just had him dead to rights, as Krieger is caught stealing that time, so the Indians run themselves out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 1. ICC and Snead scoreless. We'll step away and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Helen, don't you know Little Caesars has the extra most asbestos for $6?
$6?
I gotta sit down.
Yeah, it has the most cheese and pepperoni for the nation's best price.
Most cheese and most pepperoni? I gotta sit all the way down.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza.
Itawamba Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set here. You see there, Food Giant, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics. Locations in Aberdeen, Amory, Ashland, Baldwin, Columbus, Fulton, Okolona, Ripley, and Saltillo. As we move now to the top of the second inning, it'll be Mullinex, Cook, and Williams all due up here for the Parsons in the top of the second, scoreless. Here in game 2, this is Austin King still on the hill here for the Indians. That first pitch in the dirt, 4-ball. We do appreciate everyone being patient today with the outages that we had earlier in game 1. Hopefully avoid those here in game 2, as it was a system-wide situation for Wi-Fi Sports, but they worked hard and got us back online. We'll try to have this game 1 available in its entirety on YouTube and our archives in the next couple of weeks. If you want to go back and watch it, of course, we'll have highlights as well. There's a strike across, 2-1 now is the count, but highlights will be available later this evening on YouTube. Just search Let's Go ICC on YouTube. You can see that and more. It'll also be available on our website, letsgoicc.com. That pitch a little low, but at the knees, called a strike. 2-2 now is the count on the first baseman, Mullinex. 2-2 offering. Fastball in the dirt. 3-2 now goes the count. Nobody on base to really have to worry about that one. Both teams basically went 3 up, 3 down after the Indians were caught trying to steal to end the inning. So it'll be the 4, 5, 6 batters due up here for Snead State, and there's a strikeout. A Renaissance Bank strikeout, the second of the game.
Now batting the left fielder, number 21, Dylan Cook.
And that will bring up Dylan Cook, the left fielder, with nobody on. And 1 out here in the bottom of the second. This game's scheduled for 7 innings. So Cook will dig in, playing left field. Looks at that first pitch across for a strike. So 0-1 is the count. Cook awaiting the offering. That one in the dirt. 1-1 now is the count here. Good crowd coming out to support the Indians. Continuing to grow now after most people starting to get off work. We'll anticipate a few more people coming in as they're making their way to the ballpark. Here on a Friday, that pitch across for a strike. 1-2 now is the count. Of course, we do have the high school basketball tournament wrapping up tonight at the Davis Event Center. Expect a big crowd there. It's been a busy and it's been a tough week at ICC. We'll talk about that as the broadcast continues throughout this evening. As that pitch fouled off, we'll stay at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Cook will dig in here. Looks at a pitch in the dirt. 2-2 now is the count. So Cook awaiting the 2-2 offering. Fastball just a little too high. 3-2 now goes the count. course, we talked about some of the heavy hearts on campus this week. 3-2 pitch on its way. Foul back, right off the ankle of the home plate umpire. Hopefully got a protective gear to kind of block that up for him. If not, that hurts. And if he doesn't have any gear on, I'll tell you this, he's playing it off pretty well, as he just did not flinch whatsoever after taking that one off the inside part of the ankle. 3-2 pitch coming. Fastball, ground ball, and it's going to be a foul ball. Of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Zion Ford, a former football player here at ICC who passed away over the weekend. We do encourage you to put your prayers out for his family. 3-2 pitch, and he lost him. A one-out walk. And then we got news this morning that the aunt of women's basketball player
number 32,
Shania Buford
Williams,
passed away in a car accident last night. And her grandmother not doing well in the hospital, and two of her friends also. So please remember to continue to pray for the Buford family, Shania and her friends and loved ones, along with the Ford family. It's just been a tough week, folks. And one of those you always encourage everyone to kind of tell your family and your friends you love them when you got the opportunity. That pitch missing for a ball. 1-0 now is the count. One out and a runner on first. Swung on a healthy swing that time, coming up empty. Couldn't catch up with the fastball. 1-1 now is the count to Williams, the third baseman. So Williams will dig in. 1-1 is the count. King on the hill. Big looping breaking ball, but just hung up too much for the umpire's liking. 2-1 now is the count here on Williams. Hartsfield, the shortstop, is on deck. Indians would love to see him on the next inning if they can turn two here. 2-1 pitch coming. Swung on and missed. Strike two. 2-2 now is the count with one away. Two balls, two strikes, one out and a runner on first here for the Parsons of Snead State. Kane snap throw over. Not a very big lead over there, so easily diving back without a tag. Would have been nice if we would have had the weather yesterday today. Sunny in the 70s. As there's a flare out to right field. Right fielder's going to have to come up and try to make a play. Can't get it. Going to relay it to second. That's in time. Great play that time. Let's go back and look at that on the Little Caesars replay. Wow, what a play.
Now batting the shortstop,
so that will actually
2,
be a fielder's
Joseph
choice.
Hartsfield.
I believe 9-6 on the putout. See, the ball will drop as it goes out of your screen, but the quick relay in to the shortstop got him a bang-bang play. And that will retire Cook now. So 2 outs in the inning, and this will bring Hartsfield to Cook's defense. He did have to check up in case the ball was caught, as the right fielder was making a pretty good jump on it. But a great throw out there in right field by Drake Wallace, the two sports star here at ICC. Able to get that out. 2 outs now and a runner on first. Hartsfield, the shortstop, at the plate. Takes that pitch low. 2-0 now. Goes the count here on Hartsfield. If he were to reach, then Bobo, the catcher, would be up next. So King getting set to deliver the 2-0 pitch. Ground ball. Third baseman has to stretch to go get it. Throw across the way is in time. Nicely done that time by the Indians to get out of the inning with no damage done. Score that one 5-3 for those of you that may be scoring at home. No runs, no hits, no errors.
In the inning for
One
the
left on base.
There were no runs, 1 hit.
We'll take a break and come back with the bottom of the second. Scoreless here in Game 2 between ICC and Snead State. Itawamba Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton.
Today, you are connected more than ever. Your friends, your family, your life. Having a partner that understands banking is what you do on your time, anywhere you like. It's about being connected, which is easy with convenient locations in your community. Understanding that sometimes you need to speak to real people with real answers. Banking partners with the services you desire, who understand how you want to bank. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
And welcome back as we get set here for the bottom of the second inning. I'm going to call myself Dr. Gore, trying to dish out a little bit of advice here in the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. And if anybody knows me, you know, take my advice and let it go in one ear and out the other. So we're getting set for the bottom of the second inning. Going to be Thomas, Hall, and Wallace due up here. 4, 5, 6 batters for the Indians. ICC did get a hit by Krieger, but he was caught trying to steal to end the first inning. A great play by Wallace in the top half of the inning to get the lead runner Cook, as this pitch fouled back for strike one. Thomas catching here in game two. You know, we talked to Coach Collier after the opening series against Calhoun where the Indians swept the Warhawks. You know, he said he's got a problem this year, and it's a good problem to have, as he's got a lot of guys that he could mix up and put in the lineup each time out to the ballpark. Boy, a big healthy swing that time by Thomas comes up empty. 0-2 now is the count. This is Cheatwood on the hill here for Snead State. He does have a pair of Renaissance Bank strikeouts. As this is a ground ball, hard hit off the glove of the first baseman. I'm going to rule that a hit instead of an error, as that was just a line drive. The first baseman did a good job just getting a glove down on it.
Now batting number 8, Jacob.
And so that's going to be a leadoff single there. Second hit of the game for the Indians, and now up is going to be the DH Hall. Jacob Hall, he is out of Petal High School. He's listed at 6 foot, 190 pounds. He is a freshman catcher in the DH spot here, though, in game two. Hall takes a look at the first pitch, low for a ball. Busy time of year for the sports information team. We'll be on the road Monday as we travel to East Mississippi for basketball. Supposed to have softball Tuesday, but I'm going to tell you what, folks, if you got any outdoor plans next week, go ahead and cancel them. As this pitch popped up, right fielder's got a long way to run over in foul territory. Can't get to it as the ball gets out of play. But yeah, I think Tuesday might be the only day that don't have any rain above 20% chance. Other than that, it's 50 or greater the rest of the week. So it's going to be tough sledding to get any of the games in this next week. Of course, for softball division play, only 2 weeks out. Baseball got a little bit more time to play with before they get in the division play. We'll try to update some scores from softball later on here, as that was nothing but a long strike. Hall takes a look at that one. Ooh, good looking pitch, but the umpire calling it a ball, said it was just up to his liking. Looked like a pretty good pitch from my point of view. 2-1 now is the count. Runner at first, taking a small lead. Cheatwood delivers, and this one fouled straight back into your living room. It evens up the count now at 2-2. Drake Wallace is on deck. Drake, the game 2 hero there, in a 11-0 run rule victory against Calhoun. He had a bases loaded triple. You see Drake, ask him about his slide into third, though. It wasn't the most graceful looking slide, but he was there safely. That's all that matters. Awaiting the 2-2 pitch. Popped up. Catcher's going to trek back, and this one is going to get over the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. Hey, when we talk about the ICC Foundation, we do want to remind you, visit iccms.edu. That's iccms.edu to find out how you can donate to the ICC Foundation. You can also get in touch with Mr. Jim Ingram for more information there. The ICC Foundation, they provide scholarships for students here at ICC, amongst campus improvements and many, many more things there. That's the ICC Foundation here in Fulton, Tupelo, and the Belden Center. So 2-2 is the count. No outs and a runner on first. That pitch upstairs. 3-2 now is the count here on Hall. Count goes full with no outs. Cheatwood running into a little bit of trouble here in the bottom of the second scoreless contest in Game 2 between ICC and Snead State. Ground ball, first baseman finds it, a chance to turn two. No, he bobbles it, and is going to toss it to first, so he still gets an out. First baseman, a couple of tough plays there, but he was able to get it 3-1 on the putout of Hall, but the runner does advance to second.
30, Drake Wallace.
That was almost a tailor-made double play there, but instead, the ball kind of just slipped out of the hand of the first baseman, and he's looking down at his glove right now, a little upset with himself, knowing that he had an opportunity at a Little Caesars double play. Hey, talking about Little Caesars, if you're in the Fulton area, maybe an ICC student, they've got their mobile order app up and running now here in Fulton. You can download the Little Caesars app. You can have to subscribe and set up your account, and then you can order from your phone and actually pay from your phone as well. And then you can just walk in, grab your pizza, and walk out. So the fastest pizza in Fulton becoming even faster. Little Caesars, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics here on Let's Go ICC TV.com. Drake Wallace will dig in with a runner at second. Wallace takes a look at that breaking pitch that didn't quite break as much as he wanted it to. Takes it for ball one. If Wallace crowds the plate a little bit more, he's going to take one of those off the hip. We talked about Drake. He was a member of the football team this year. Indians had a great run. They knocked off the number 5 team in the country, finishing a tie for the playoffs, but due to the tiebreak rule, just could not get in the playoffs. Hard hit ball down the line and foul towards the parking lot. Didn't hear any moans or groans, so apparently it did not hit any vehicles. 1-1 now is the count with one out. That's Thomas on second. He got there after Hall grounded out to the first baseman. A near error that they were able to, or allow the Indians able to avoid the double play. That pitch of beauty called a strike. 1-2 now is the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, and a runner on second. Bottom of the second here for the Indians. Pitch coming. Wallace fouls that one off, and we'll stay at 1-2. Well, as we said, the temperatures this afternoon coming into work was right around the low 60s, maybe creeping into the mid 60s. Now probably in the mid 40s, about a 20-degree flip-flop in temperature change here this afternoon. Welcome to the South in February. If you want to experience every season of weather, just come to Mississippi, and you can experience it all in one day. Of course, the rain not helping things out. Been cloudy all afternoon. The lights have been on since we started this series. The first pitch of the day came at 12:53. Wallace pops this one up, and it's going to be down the line and foul into the bullpen of Snead State. So Wallace not a bad at bat right now for the Amory native, as he's getting deep into the pitch count of Cheatwood here, trying to get something brewing in the bottom of the second with 1 out and a runner on second here for the Indians. Cheatwood taking his time. And Drake Wallace wants to take time. And there's strike 3. Wallace that time. Couldn't pull the trigger on that one. Third Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day.
Now batting the center fielder, number 10, Jackson Lancaster.
And this will be Jackson Lancaster. Lancaster was the leadoff batter in Game 1, sliding down to that number 7 spot. He's playing center field here for the Indians in Game 2. So with 2 outs, the Indians trying to spark a little 2-out rally here in the bottom of the second. That's what they did in Game 1. Scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs. There's a ground ball to the first baseman. He gets it, slips a little bit, and then cannot get the throw there in time. Bang, bang play over there at first, and we're going to give him a hit to Lancaster. And boy, this is going to be an inning that first baseman.
Now batting the shortstop, number 13, Connor Lewis.
Going to want to forget here is Connor Lewis will come down as the Snead State coach wanting to come out and talk this one over with the infield umpire. Yep, we're feeling your pain, Coach. He has not been on his A game today, as that was a close play, and it went the way of the Indians there. He owes us about 3 calls from game 1 anyway. So now it'll be Connor Lewis, the shortstop, due up. He's batting 8th in the lineup this evening. ICC was scheduled to play Wren Lake on Sunday. Wren Lake looked at the weather report because they typically do a week tour of the South, if you will, with them being from Illinois. They'll typically play like Kahoma, Northwest, us, Northeast. Well, they looked at the weather and said, no, we're not coming. Because that's a lot of money to have to put these guys up in hotel room and travel all the way from Ina, Illinois. So that game has been canceled. I think Rick said he's trying to find somebody to replace that one possibly Monday. If he can find somebody with an open spot on their schedule, of course, will not be available for that. We might try to get it on the Blue Channel, but we'll be on the road with basketball if that game is set up for Monday. Breaking pitch, just too much outside. Good looking pitch that time. Goes for a ball as Lewis is at the plate. If Lewis were to reach them, we'll go to number 9 batter, Ray Sandroni, the second baseman here for the Indians. Runners on the corners for ICC, scoreless ball game. Lewis takes a look at that one, pitched low in the dirt. Nicely done that time by Bobo, keeping that one in front of him and keeping the runner at first. That's how ICC won game 1 on a walk-off wild pitch. Connor Lewis, who was at the plate, was able to score the game-winning run. So Lewis awaiting the 2-0 pitch. Swings on this one, a deep fly ball to left field, back, and off the wall. Lewis is going to get a double. They're going to try to score the run from second to throw, not in time. And Connor Lewis will go all the way to third. A big-time play there for Connor Lewis as he gets a 2-run double, and ICC takes the lead here. The wind was blowing from left to right and kept that one from exiting the ballpark. And ICC leads it now 2-0 after the throw was a little low and got away from the catcher.
Second baseman, number 21, Ray Sandroni.
And it allowed Lewis to go from second to third. So now with 2 outs, ICC leads it 2-0 on a big-time clutch 2-out hit there by Connor Lewis. And this will bring up the second baseman, Ray Sandroni. Sandroni, a Tupelo product. Swings on the breaking pitch, couldn't find it. Strike 1. So the Indians getting work done once again with 2 outs. 2-out hitting. I tell you what, if you got a ball club that can find some hits with 2 outs, that can take you a long way throughout the season. So Sandroni, the number 9 batter in the lineup, takes a look at that pitch, holds off on it. 1-1 now is the count. If Sandroni were to reach them, we'll go back to the top of the lineup with DeSantis for the Indians. 2-0 your score. 1-1 is the count. 2 outs and a runner on third. That pitch missing low. Sandroni hangs off on that one. 2-1 now goes the count here on Ray. So 2-1 offering. Fastball across for a strike. 2-2 now is the count here on Sandroni. So 2-2 is the count. 2 outs and a runner on third. That ball way outside. Great job once again by Bobo to extend out and get that one to keep the runner from scoring from third. Count goes full to Sandroni. Payoff pitch coming from Cheatwood. And it's a foul ball. Nice job that time by Sandroni to extend the bat, find a piece of it, and keep this at-bat alive. It's been a long inning here for Cheatwood as the Indians have been able to get deep in the pitch count here in the bottom of the second. They've got 4 hits on the afternoon. 3 of those coming here in the bottom of the second. Fastball fouled off. We'll stay at 3-2. Heard some of the grounds crew over there coming into the ballpark as it was heading that direction. It's in the middle of the fifth over on the Blue Channel. ICC trailing 2-0 to Marion Military in game 2 there. And he fought that one off. Third baseman's going to have to hurry. It's a high throw, and it gets him off the bag. An error allows the run to score as Sandroni will reach safely. First error of the game, and ICC now leads 3-0. That allowed Lewis to score. Heads up play by Lewis to advance from second to third. As it looks like we're going to have the slow roll to the mound here for Snead State, and that could do it for Cheatwood on the afternoon. DeSantis is due up here for the Indians. We're going to take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors. And we'll see if we got a pitching change when we come back on Let'sGoICCTV.com. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation. So no change for Snead State as it's going to stay Cheatwood on the mound here. We go back to the top of the lineup with DeSantis, who struck out swinging to start the contest back in the first inning. ICC has pushed across 3 runs here. In the bottom of the second, they lead it 3-0. DeSantis at the plate. Takes a look at that first pitch, paints the corner for strike 1. That's Ray Sandroni over at first. He reached on an error, a throwing error by the third baseman. 0-1 is the count. 2 outs and a runner on first here in the bottom of the second. Swings on that one, fouls it off the netting for strike 2. 0-2 now goes the count here on DeSantis. There we got Trey's family watching. Of course, they're from Laurel. They might have been able to sneak up here on a Friday. Kind of hard for some of those families to get away, and that's the reason why we appreciate everyone watching here on Let's Go ICC TV. Try to provide as many games as we can this season. 0-2 pitch coming. That one outside and high for a ball, 1-2. Not a bad spot to miss that time. See if you couldn't get an aggressive batter in DeSantis to chase one high and out of the zone. 1-2 is the count. 2 outs and a runner on first for the Indians. They lead 3-0 here in the bottom of the second. That pitch outside. DeSantis thought about it, held off on it. 2-2 now is the count here on the freshman out of West Jones High School. Talking about West Jones, always pick on my buddy Raphael, the video operations coordinator. He is from Laurel, but he did not go to West Jones High School. And I think he went to Laurel. I can't remember. Whatever West Jones' big rival is down there, that's where Raphael went. And I always, when I get a chance to mention Trey or anything about West Jones, I always say that's where Raphael went to high school. But in fact, he didn't. He doesn't like it too much. So 2-2 is the count with 2 outs and a runner on first here in the bottom of the second. Fastball swung on and tipped it, but held on to by the catcher that time. Second time this afternoon that DeSantis goes down on strikes. But the Indians get it done. They get 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. We've played 2, and ICC leads it 3-0 here in Game 2 against Snead State. We're going to take a break and come back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Etowah Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College. where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
And welcome back now as we move to the top of the third inning. ICC with a 3-0 lead. Updating Twitter. Remind you can follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. Everybody in the press box follow ICC on Twitter? Are y'all lying to me? Okay. Cal Brown, you have no excuse not to follow us. Oh, I'll tell you what, y'all tweet me, and I'll follow y'all back.
For the Parsons, the catcher, number 19, Jacob Bobo.
So it'll be the catcher, Jacob Bobo. It'll be the 8-9-1 batters due up here. And that pitch across for a strike. We have to do that over the summer. Since we don't have a whole lot going on during the summer, we have some special contests like a Follow Back Friday on Twitter. This pitch fouled off. 0-2 now is the count here to Bobo. That one out to the softball field. Soccer, thank you. That one fouled to the softball field. Holy cow. Breaking pitch, missing low. 1-2 now goes the count. And that pitch missing. 2-2 now goes the count. So yes, be sure and follow us on Twitter. Also on Snapchat, Instagram, pretty much any form of social media. Just type in Let's Go ICC. You can follow the brand there. Of course, you can keep up with any schedule changes that may occur throughout the baseball and softball seasons. That pitch missing low for a ball. And there'll be a lot of changes, especially this time of year with a lot of rain throughout the areas. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's another Renaissance Bank strikeout there for Austin King. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars replay. And a big-time strikeout there. That's the third Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for King. So now that will bring Shaw, the second baseman, to the plate. Shaw just couldn't make up his mind on what he wanted to do there and tried to check his swing. Couldn't do so. Strike 1. Shaw's the second baseman. He's the number 9 man in the lineup. We'll go back to the top of the inning, or excuse me, top of the lineup with Rich. After this one, that pitch inside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on here. Top of the third, ICC leading 3-0. Fastball across for a strike. 1-2 now is the count. One-two pitch coming. There's strike 3, and it's a beauty. Back-to-back strikeouts now by Austin King. Got him looking. That is the fourth Renaissance Bank strikeout
Jacob Rich
of the day here for Austin King. And now we go back to the top of the lineup. In the DH, Rich, who grounded out 6-3 in his first at-bat. Part of a 3-up, 3-down inning back in the first inning. Looks at the first pitch, pops it up. Second baseman tracking back. Now the right fielder coming up and calling everyone off, and will squeeze it for the putout. Another 3-up, 3-down inning there for the Parsons. ICC leads this one 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Let's recap some of the scoring so far in the contest, and that goes back to the previous inning that you just saw here. It was started by Thomas, the catcher, who started things off with a single. And then Hall came up, hit a ground ball to the first baseman. He tried to turn 2, but lost handle of the baseball. So Thomas was able to reach second safely. The only out they had was a toss back to the pitcher to retire Thomas. Wallace struck out looking for the second out of the inning. Then Lancaster came up. He singled, and that put runners on the corners for the Indians. And then Lewis had a big-time hit as he hit one to the gap out to left field. and it scored 2 runs, and then Lewis had the wherewithal to jump up and advance from second to third after the throw home got away from the catcher, and he was able to take third, and then Sandroni reached on an error, scoring Lewis, and that is your Sonic scoring recap here in Game 2 with ICC leading 3-0. Let's hear from Sonic real quick. Back with more right after this.
I love these soft pretzel twists.
They're so soft and salty, I like to sample them. That was a tongue twister!
Here's another one. Peter Piper picked a pack of perfect pretzels.
Hold up. Your last name is Piper?
Try a new warm and buttery soft pretzel twist with the Sonic Fruit Fizz. This is how you Sonic.
And welcome back to action now as we get set to start the bottom of
Leading
the
off
third
for the
inning.
Indians, number 15, Kyle Krieger.
It'll be Krieger to start things off here for the Indians in the bottom of the third. Cheatwood still on the hill here for Snead State. Krieger singled his first time up, but was caught trying to steal to end the first inning. He's got one of the 4 Indians hits so far here in Game 2. 3-0 is your score. ICC with the lead here in the bottom of the third. First pitch goes for a ball. Krieger fouls this one back over the netting. 1-1 now is the count. One ball, one strike, no outs as Krieger is leading things off here in the bottom of the third. We'll try to check in on softball in the next opportunity. 1-1 now is the count. Krieger takes that pitch inside for a ball. 2-1 now goes the count. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Hard hit, line drive right back up the middle past a diving second baseman. Second hit of the game for Krieger. And a nice piece of hitting that time for Kyle
Now
Krieger.
batting the first baseman, number 11, Justin Medlin.
After 5 complete in Game 2, is Marion Military leading in softball 2-0 on the other side of campus. Baseball leading this one 3-0 in the bottom of the third. So Medlin will be at the plate. He struck out to end the first in his previous at bat. Did not end the first. He struck out part of that first inning as that pitch fouled back over the netting for strike 1. Medlin, a little bit of tough luck there in Game 1. He had a home run, a delay foul ball call that took a run off the board. Then he slid it home on a wild pitch, clearly safe. As you'll see later tonight if you didn't see it in Game 1 on the replays that we'll have on YouTube. So he had 2 runs scored, taken away from him, but the Indians found a way to win it 5-4 in the first game of the day. Medlin takes a look at that pitch high in the zone. 1-1 now is the count. Thomas is on deck for the Indians. He singled, scored a run, part of that 3-run bottom of the second inning for the Indians. ICC trying to pick up some insurance runs here. Of course, any insurance runs we're able to pick up being brought to you by your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox. For all your insurance needs, as his bunts pop back and out of play. The Diamond Girl that just went and got a baseball got back to the door and now is heading back to get another one. So 1-2 is the count. But yeah, Joey Cox located on South Adams Street. Whether it be home, auto, or life insurance, stop by and see Joey. Former ICC All-American football player, proud to sponsor ICC Athletics. Ground ball, and it's going to get through. Krieger had to check up for a second, make sure the ball didn't hit him. And so back-to-back singles now by the Indians, and the hit parade is starting to get going here.
Catcher number 6, Drew Thomas.
And this is going to be Drew Thomas at the plate. He singled in his first at bat, eventually came around to score, part of a 2-run double by Connor Lewis. And they do have some action in the bullpen for Snead State. Thought they were going to make a call to the bullpen earlier, but elected not to. So no outs, runners on first and second here for the Indians. This is going to be the catcher Thomas at the plate. Pitch on the inside, called a strike. So Cheatwood trying to battle his way out of this jam here, trailing 3-0. All 3 runs, well, let's say 2 of the 3 runs earned in the bottom of the 2nd inning by the Indians. One of those runs was unearned as Androni reached on a 2-out error. Big swing and miss that time by Thomas. And 0-2 now is the count here on Thomas. He is listed as a 6'1", 205-pound freshman out of Nesbitt, Mississippi. He went to DeSoto Central High School. Talk about Nesbitt, you got to think about former ICC All-American softball player. As this fly ball out to right field. Right fielder can't find it, loses it. So the ball is going to drop. Runners had to check up to make sure it wouldn't be caught. So now the Indians have bases loaded. I got to call that a hit because he never really fielded the ball.
Number 8, Jacob Hall.
So now bases are loaded with no outs. But yeah, to go back and talk about Nesbitt, Corey Watterson. Not only was she an All-American, she was a Mariucci top hitter for the ICC softball team. Went on to play at Delta State. Had an outstanding career there as well as here. She had an injury out there at Delta State, kind of hampered for a year, but went on to have an outstanding career there for the Delta State softball team. Wind starting to pick up here at the ballpark. Bases loaded, no outs. We're at the bottom of the 3rd inning. ICC looking to build on this 3-0 lead here with Hall at the plate, the DH. Hall swings on the first pitch he sees. Ground ball. Could be a routine double play here. They get 1. Can't get 2. So a fielder's choice. No hit on the play, but the Indians do score a run. And now ICC leads it.
Now batting the right fielder, number 30, Drake Wallace.
That was Grigor who scored. Thomas was retired. And now up is going to be Drake Wallace. Be good to see Drake have a repeat of what we saw out at Calhoun with that triple. Only this time he would only be able to get 2 runs out of the mix after a good job that time. Great slide, though, by Thomas. Not to go out of his way, but to do a good job of kind of breaking up that double play there for the Indians. Pitch right down Broadway, strike 1 to Wallace. Drake Wallace, a 2-star athlete here at ICC, played football. Didn't play football as a freshman. Did play this year. He's out of Amory High School. He's listed at 6 foot 205. Wallace swings at that one, fouls it off. 0-2 now is the count. So 0-2 is the count. There is 1 out. Runners on the corners here for the Indians. They lead 4-0. Wallace rips one, and a line drive caught by the shortstop, and that's going to turn into a double play, as that time the runner over at first was Hall, just tripped, tried to get back. So score that a 6 unassisted to 3. Double play to end the inning there. That double play being brought to you by Little Caesars, but ICC does have another run on the board. They lead it 4-0 after 3. We'll take a break and hear from Little Caesars and be back with more right after this.
Helen, don't you know Little Caesars has the extra most bestest for $6?
$6? I gotta sit down.
Yeah, it has the most cheese and pepperoni for the nation's best price.
Most cheese and most pepperoni? I gotta sit all the way down.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza.
Today, you are connected more than ever. Your friends, your family, your life. Having a partner that understands banking is what you do on your time, anywhere you like. It's about being connected, which is easy with convenient locations in your community. Understanding that sometimes you need to speak to real people with real answers. Banking partners with the services you desire, who understand how you want to bank. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the top of the fourth inning. ICC with a 4-0 lead here over Snead State in game 2.
Leading off for the Parsons, number 7, Zontaria Schofield.
We do want to thank those tuning in here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Also want to say a special hello to those that might be watching in support of Snead State this afternoon. We do appreciate you tuning in. And, hey, if you got nothing else going on, check us out. There's going to be a ground ball, slow roller to the shortstop, and that's going to get past him. And that's going to be an error as Schofield reaches E6. So that's going to be an error there on the Indians to start off the inning. In the middle of the 6th inning for softball, ICC trailing Marion Military 3-0. That's on the Blue Channel if you want to go and check it out. That pitch missing for a ball. So you'll have a lot of broadcasts either on the red or blue channels this afternoon. We didn't know if we were going to be able to broadcast with softball because they don't have an awning over their press box like baseball does, as that pitch fouled back out of play for strike 1. 1-1 now is the count. But we're able to make some unique arrangements there to hopefully be able to make that work out for everyone that wanted to catch the softball games this afternoon. 1-1 pitch coming from King. Foul back, 1-2 now is the count. So Schofield is at first after an error. McCollum at the plate. Mullenix is up next. 1-2 pitch coming from King. Ground ball. Second baseman's going to come up. Zips it over in time for the putout. Nicely done that time by Sandroni. That was a slow roller.
Now batting the first
had some pretty good
8,
speed.
Matthew Mullenix.
Over there, heading to first as Schofield was able to advance to second on the slow roller, but a good job getting that out by Sandroni. 1 away now. Runner on second. We're in the top of the 4th. ICC leading 4-0 here. Big looping pitch across for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Mullenix and then Cook is on deck. Mullenix struck out swinging. The second of 4 Renaissance Bank strikeouts so far on the evening by Austin King. Fastball missing low. Evens the count now at 1-1. So 4-0 ICC with the lead. Sounds like something big happened over at softball. You can actually hear the cheers in the background. This pitch fouled off. You want to be sure and check Twitter. So if you're watching one game, can't keep up with the other, you can follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. As the count now goes 1-2. King's 1-2 pitch on its way. And that one, just a little too high. 2-2 now is the count. You heard some oohs and ahs from the ICC faithful in front of us. 2-2 now is the count. 1 out and a runner on second. ICC leading 4-0. Time is taken by Mullenix at the plate. So the 2-2 pitch from King. Fastball just missing. Good looking location there. Just a little too far outside for the umpire's liking. Count now goes full to Mullenix. 3-2 pitch. Here comes the offering from King. Ripped but foul. That one well beyond the newly built field house for the baseball team or dressing room, as the count stays full now at 3-2. Waiting the 3-2 pitch from King. Fastball swung on and missed for strike 3. Another Renaissance Bank strikeout there.
Now batting the left fielder, number
the
21,
fifth
Dylan Cook.
Of the game for King. And now up will be Dylan Cook. Cook, the left fielder, batting fifth in the lineup. Walked. Was put out on a fielder's choice back in the second. He will dig in here, try to spark a little two-out rally for the Parsons. King, breaking pitch. Ooh, good-looking pitch, just a little too far inside. Ball one. If Cook were to reach, then we'll go to Williams, who's on deck. Swung on, couldn't catch up with the fastball. Strike one. You hear the chimes in the background. That means it's the 5 o'clock hour here on campus. ICC leads it 4-0. You're watching ICC baseball on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Liner right back up the middle, off the glove of King. Gets it and gets the put out. Nicely defending his position that time. Did Austin King after the line drive right back up the middle. Had the patience and the wherewithal to find the baseball. Didn't rush anything and made the throw over in time for the putout of Cook. 1-3 for those of you scoring at home. We'll move to the bottom of the fourth inning. ICC leading it 4-0. Back with more right after this. Itawamba Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back to action as we get set to go to the bottom of the fourth inning. ICC leading it 4-0. Just saw that commercial for Food Giant. If you're looking for a good lunch on a Saturday, you could probably find me there, folks. They have a great vegetable plate. I usually follow it up on a Sunday as well. So Food Giant, located 2 doors down from Little Caesars. Both of those proud sponsors of ICC Athletics, not only here on Let's Go ICC TV, but FM 95
Sports. Indians, number 10, Jackson Lancaster.
So it'll be Jackson Lancaster. The 7, 8, 9 batters due up here for the Indians. Lancaster, Lewis, and Sandroni all due up for the Indians here in the bottom of the fourth inning. ICC put a 3 spot on the board in the bottom of the second, 1 in the third, trying to pick up some more of those insurance runs. Of course, when we talk about the insurance runs, we want to talk about our friend Joey Cox and your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent. For all your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, or life, stop by and see Joey right there on South Adams Street here in Fulton. Lancaster takes a look at that first pitch. Outside for a ball. Lancaster, a pitcher / outfielder, a 5'11", 190-pound freshman. He went to Corinth High School. Swings on this pitch, fouls it off, out of play. That one going towards the other side of the dressing room. Out there in the swamp, if you will. Waterlogged Fulton, Mississippi this afternoon. Cold evening as the temperatures continue to drop. Breaking pitch popped up. Center fielder chasing. The fielder coming on and will squeeze it for the putout. That one just could not find its way to the ground quick enough for Lancaster. Out number 1 here in the bottom of the fourth. And now up will be Connor Lewis.
Now batting the shortstop, number 13, Connor Lewis.
Lewis in his previous at-bat had a double that scored 2 runs, part of that 3-run second inning. He also was able to advance from second to third on the throw home, and then scored on an error when Ray Sandroni, he's on deck for the Indians. Lewis thought about pulling the trigger on that one, held off on the breaking pitch. That misses low and outside for ball 1. Well, as we said, no baseball Sunday. That game was originally scheduled to be against Wren Lake. Has been canceled. Will not be made up. That pitch straight back here in your living room. You know, that's one thing I always talk about, early parts of the baseball season. You can tell people that are not in mid-season form, some of the fans, as that ball comes flying back to the net. You see people jump, move out of the way. Saw a few ladies here in the press box do the same thing. But about game 10, 11, you'll be used to it. Breaking pitch, and it's a beauty across for a strike. 1-2 now is the count with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. I want to say a special thank you to the ICC Baptist Student Union. Got me a hot dog between games, and those things were good. And that pitch fouled off out of play. Looks like Calhoun is going to send a couple of guys down to the bullpen here. For the Chris Burrows and company, always doing a great job there at the ICC BSU. Not to say how long Brother Chris has been around ICC, but he was my BSU director whenever I was here at ICC. That was only a couple of years ago, of course. I'm not north of 30 at all in my age. I'm only 25, maybe 26 plus 10 years. There's a flare out to right field. A base hit by Lewis, his second hit of the game. And a big-time base hit there for Lewis.
Now batting the second baseman, number 21, Ray Sandroni.
And now it will be Ray Sandroni. Sandroni, a 5'9", 175-pound freshman. He went to Tupelo High School. So you would call him a hashtag them blanket. And Sandroni. 1 out and a runner on first. Runner goes, hit and run, and the right fielder's not going to get to it. Good hit and run call that time by the Indians. As Lewis was able to go from first to third in a good, nicely executed hit and run action that time by the Indians.
Number 4, Trey DeSantis.
Take a look at that on the Little Caesars replay here. Big time play there for the Indians, and now what will be DeSantis. Ball nearly got away that time as the ball went to third. Good job by the third baseman to hold up on it and get the ball back and keep Sandroni at second. So the Indians could try to open this one up a little bit more now. 1 out, runners on the corners. After back-to-back singles from Lewis and Sandroni, we go back to the top of the lineup for DeSantis. He's due here, 0 for 2 in the afternoon with a pair of strikeouts. Snap throw to first. Got to be careful with those. Sometimes you can get a runner being a little lazy over there at first, but we did see a throw in the first game get away from the first baseman, allow a runner to advance from first to third and eventually score a run. That pitch, curveball missing outside for a ball. Indians with 9 hits so far in the contest. 2 of those belonging to Lewis, who is at third. He's got a double and a single. Thomas also with a pair of singles this afternoon. That pitch inside for a ball. DeSantis, a left fielder, as we said, 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Looking for his first hit of the day here. So awaiting the 2-0 pitch here from Cheatwood. Taking his time. That pitch missing low and outside. 3-0 now is the count. If I had to assume, he has slowed his pace and become a little bit more methodical with his work here to try buy a little extra time for his pitchers warming up in the bullpen. 3-0 is the count. DeSantis, you figure the red light will be on here for the freshman outfielder. And he takes that pitch inside for ball 4. So DeSantis will trot down to first, and the bases loaded for the Indians here. And here comes trouble. Kyle Krieger, who is 2 for 2 in the afternoon with a pair of singles.
Now batting the third baseman, number 15.
And they're going to come out and talk to their pitcher here. He singled in the first, was caught stealing to end the first. Singled and scored the only run in the third, and now a chance to go ahead and pick up some of those insurance runs we've been talking about here with a base hit for Krieger. And boy, it'll be a big day at the plate for him as he's already 2 for 2 in the afternoon with a pair of singles. You've got Krieger, Thomas, and Lewis each with a pair of hits so far on the afternoon. 1 out, bases full of Indians. Krieger swings on the first pitch he sees, foul ball, strike 1. Krieger, number 2 in the lineup, playing third here in game 2. Oh, 1 is the count, 1 out. We said bases full of Indians here. Can't catch up with the fastball, strike 2. Snead trying to get out of this jam here. A 1 out, bases loaded jam for Cheatwood. Krieger at the plate. Oh, 2 pitch coming from Cheatwood. Grounder right back up the middle, and great play. Can't get the throw to second in time, and he's safe. And that will score a run. Another run scores for the Indians. So ICC
now batting the first baseman, number 11, Justin Medlin.
leads at 5-0. I'm going to call that a hit for Krieger. It was a tough play. 10th hit of the ball game here for the Indians. So now Medlin, who singled his last time up, will come to the plate. Bases loaded and 1 out. Indians now up 5-0. Cheatwood steps off the rubber. Indians want to get that merry-go-round spinning here in the bottom of the 4th. They've already pushed across 1 run and like to add some more here. This pitch popped up, back and out of play for strike 1. So 0-1 is the count. There's 1 out. This is Medlin at the plate. He's the first baseman. He does have a single to his credit. He did strike out part of a 3-up, 3-down first inning after the runner was caught stealing. Curveball right back to the pitcher. A little tailor-made double play here. There's 1 and there's 2. So that will end the threat there for Snead. ICC does get 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We've played 4. ICC leads at 5-0. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation. Etowah Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
I love these soft pretzel twists.
They're so soft and salty, I like to sample them. That was a tongue twister!
Here's another one. Peter Piper picked a pack of perfect pretzels.
Hold up. Your last name is Piper?
Try a new warm and buttery soft pretzel twist with the Sonic Fruit Fizz. This is how you Sonic.
And welcome back now as we move to the top of the fifth inning. ICC leading 5-0 here in Game 2 over Snead State.
Leading off for the Parsons, number 32, Zach Williams.
So Williams will come to the plate here to start things off. Williams, Hartsfield, and Bobo, the 6, 7, 8 batters due up here. He swings on the first pitch he sees, foul ball, strike one. If you're just now joining us, ICC picked up a 5-4 win in Game 1 after a walk-off wild pitch allowed Connor Lewis to score in a bases-loaded situation in the bottom of the 7th. Swung on and missed. Strike two. Breaking pitch, fouled off. We'll stay at 0-2. Updating Twitter. Remind you to follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. Fastball in the dirt, 1-2 now is the count. Five nothing after 4 complete here in Game 2. Fastball missing, 2-2 now is the count. This pitch fouled out of play. ICC down 3-0 after 6 complete in Game 2. That's softball against Marion Military. That game currently streaming on the Blue channel of Let'sGoICCTV.com. Ground ball, second baseman Sandroni gets it, gloves, and throws over in time for the putout. 4-3 for those of you scoring at home. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars replay. Nicely done that time by Sandroni.
Joseph Hartsfield.
Had plenty of time to get the ball in and out of the glove without a rush. Gets the first out, and now up will be Hartsfield, the shortstop. He grounded out to third to end the second in what seems to be 3 days ago. There's a flare out to center field. Center fielder going to hurry and get to it. Nicely done out there in center field. That's Lancaster showing off a little bit of speed out there. Looking like the old Tanner Poole out there in center field.
Now batting the catcher, number 19, Jacob Bobo.
Of course, when we talk about Tanner Poole, he went on from ICC to play at Mississippi State, a current Bulldog. That kid is quick as a hiccup. So 2 outs, nobody on here. That pitch in the dirt for a ball. Five nothing is your score. There's a foul ball out towards the soccer field, or the pitch as they call it. 1-1 is the count here to Bobo, the catcher, who struck out. He was the third of 5 strikeout victims here for Austin King. A beautiful pitch across for a strike. 1-2 now is the count. Of course, when we talk about our strikeouts, we talk about RenaissanceBank.com. We do want to remind you to follow us on Twitter, Facebook. See the Water Play Wednesday. Strike 3. Beautiful location on the pitch that time. And that will end the inning. A 3-up, 3-down inning there as Bobo goes down looking at strike 3, the 6th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. To go back and finish that thought, though, we invite you to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and catch our Water Play Wednesday presented by Renaissance Bank each Wednesday here on the Let's Go ICC brand. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
Today, you are connected more than ever. Your friends, your family, your life. Having a partner that understands banking is what you do on your time, anywhere you like. It's about being connected, which is easy with convenient locations in your community. Understanding that sometimes you need to speak to real people with real answers. Banking partners with the services you desire, who understand how you want to bank. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
Leading off, number 6, Drew Thomas.
And welcome back now as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Drew Thomas, Hall, and Wallace all due up here, the 4, 5, 6 batters for the Indians here in the bottom of the 5th inning. ICC leading this one 5-0. That pitch inside for ball. Thomas 2 for 2 on the day. He does have a run scored. He has a pair of singles. Fouls this one off. Shout out to Emma or Bob56719. Where did you come up with that Twitter name? It's a long story, she says. I got a microphone and we've got time. She says no, she doesn't want to tell that story. Thanks for the shout out on Twitter. Is that pitch missing? For a ball. She earned herself a retweet. So that's what you can do if you tweet at us here on Let's Go ICC. You can win a retweet. That pitch missing low in the dirt. 2-1 now is the count. 3-1 now is the count. Tell you what, you'd be hard pressed to find a more beautiful setting here in MACJC baseball than Crescent Field. As a foul ball, thought that one might have tried to find a way to stay fair. The lights are on here at Crescent Field. The wooden fence, painted this year, green with that yellow stripe across the top. Is 330 down the lines, 365 to the gap, 390 dead center. Wind has been blowing from left to right for most of the day, sometimes even into the ballpark. This pitch popped up a mile high. Right fielder jogging over and comes up and squeezes it for out number 1. First time Thomas has been retired here in game 2. So this will be Jacob Hall.
Now batting number 8, Jacob Hall.
Jacob Hall is listed as a 6 foot, 190-pound freshman catcher. He is the DH here in game 2. He went to Petal High School. So I feel like we may have some of the family and friends of Jacob watching here on Let's Go ICC TV. Speaking of people watching, Alex Brown just texting in saying, listening to you on baseball, just got done watching softball. Of course, Alex, a former All-American in softball, taking her talents to UNA. I talked about earlier, I've known Cal since he was like 3. I've known Alex, I think, even before she was born, it seems like. Yes, I know that's impossible, folks, but known Alex for quite a while and almost consider her family. Great friends with her mom and dad over the years. Got a chance to cover her throughout her career through the newspapers I used to write for. That pitch, check swing. They asked if he went, and they said yes. I think that's what you call a cold strike. The umpire's ready to get out of this win and get to the house. This pitch lifted, hit hard. Center fielder running back. Going to camp underneath it. The wind kind of tossing it around up there. And now that will be out number 2. Well, I'm having to get used to the new sounds of the bat
the right fielder, number 30,
off the ball.
Drake Wallace.
As this is Drake Wallace coming to the plate, 0 for 2 here in game 2. But since they put this awning over the press box, the ping off the bat has really changed. It hits a lot harder than it sounded in the past before adding this awning over the top of the grandstands is that breaking pitch missing for a ball. So there's been a couple of them today that I thought had a chance to get out of the ballpark. One of them actually did get out of the ballpark, but the umpire called it a foul ball. So yeah, having to adjust to the sounds of the game here as that pitch called a strike. 1-1 now is the count. Wallace with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th. Wow, looked like a carbon copy of that last pitch. Called a ball. 2-1 now is the count here to Drake Wallace, the right fielder here in game 2. He grounded into a double play to end the 3rd. And there's a slow roller to the shortstop coming up. Makes the clean throw across the way. And the put out 6-3 for those of you that may be scoring at home. So the Indians go 3 up, 3 down. We've played 5. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Helen, don't you know Little Caesars has the extra most bestest for $6?
$6? I gotta sit down.
Yeah, it has the most cheese and pepperoni for the nation's best price.
Most cheese and most pepperoni? I gotta sit all the way down.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza.
Itawamba Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we have a new pitcher in the game here for the Indians. This is going to be number 17, Whit Roten. He is a sophomore, listed at 6'5", 185, out of Blue Springs, Mississippi. He went to East Union High School, so he will come in and to replace Austin King. King, man, what a debut for King.
Leading off for the Parsons, number 10, Riley Shaw.
He went 5 innings, gave up no hits, struck out 6. Has some pretty good defense behind him as well. The Indians only committed 1 error. Each team with 1 error in the contest. Roten's first pitch missing low for a ball. That pitch missing 2-0 now is the count. Roten a little troubles locating here to the first batter, and I've got this as Shaw. Number 9-1-2 batters due up here for the Parsons. Fastball, and that one across for a strike. That one looked a little low, but getting the benefit of the doubt there. 3-1 now is the count. Shaw struck out looking. And his first at bat. Fouls this one off the catcher. And now the count goes 3-2. So chilly, overcast, let's call it cloudy. Overcast, it hasn't been overcast in 2 days. Cloudy evening here in Fulton. 3-2 is the count. Roten looking for that first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the season. 3-2 delivery coming. And there's a line drive. And that's the first hit of the day. And they're going to try to stretch this into a double. Throw is not going to be in time. So that will be a double as he never checked up. Typically, you're going to hold up at first with the ball And the ground being as wet as it is, the ball not rolling to the outfielders as much as it normally does. So that will be a double there for Shaw, the second baseman, to start the inning here. First hit of the day for Snead State. So now the Parsons trying to spark a little bit of a rally here in the top of the 6th. Oh, big healthy swing that time by Rich. See if that's right. I don't think that's going to be correct. That's Hansen at the plate now. That pitch missing for a strike. That was Shaw that led things off with the double. So this is Hansen now at the plate. Oh-2 is the count. Roten ripped to left field. Back-to-back hits now by the Parsons. That throw over the cutoff man. Backed up by the catcher that time. So Hansen
now
gets a single.
Number 7, Zontaria Schofield.
This will be Schofield, the center fielder, coming to the plate. He reached on an error in his previous at-bat, struck out looking back of part of a 3-up, 3-down first inning, but now Snead State's got something going here. In the top of the 6th inning, they trail 5-0, back-to-back hits to start the inning here. And so now Schofield will dig in, the center fielder, looking for his first hit of the afternoon here in game 2 as that pitch fouled back, strike 1. Let's see if we've got an update on softball across the way. That's Roten getting set to deliver the pitch in the dirt. Or no, he called it a strike. Wow, I thought that one hit in the dirt. I guess it was a breaking pitch that fell in the dirt. Softball drops game 2 by the final score of 3-1 to Marion Military, so it was a split across the way for ICC. Ground ball. Third baseman comes over. They get 1. Thought about 2. But didn't have it a fielder's choice for Schofield. It does drive in a run. So 5-1 now is your score.
Now batting the right fielder, number 4, Braden McCullum.
As Hansen is retired on the fielder's choice, Schofield will be at first. And now it will be McCullum for the Parsons. 5-1 now is your score. Fastball missing low. Ball 1. McCullum 0 for 2 on the day. Grounded out to short, grounded out to second. Snap throw over to first, not in time. Tried that little quick surprise throw. Got back safely, did Schofield. Roten delivers. Ground ball, second baseman chasing over. Bobbles it for a second, zips it over in time for the putout. Nicely done that time by Ray Sandroni. Going over and getting the putout, out number 2. So 2 outs now, a runner on second. This looks to be number 45, I believe.
Now batting number 45, Ross Strickland.
And this is going to be Strickland coming to the plate. He'll be batting for Mullenix, who was 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. So Strickland will dig in here. 2 outs and a runner on second. Strickland takes a look at that pitch, high in the zone for ball 1. Wind has shifted now. It's blowing into the ballpark. And it seems like every time I mention the wind shifting, it shifts right back to the way it was blowing. Now back to left to right. And now, of course, it's shifting back center field. That pitch paints the corner for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. So Strickland at the plate. 1-1 is the count. 2 outs and a runner on second for Snead. That pitch in the dirt. 2-1 now goes the count here to Strickland. Cook is due up for Snead State. Of course, they've been sending a couple of guys in play, so we'll stay if that stays true, if he were to reach. 2-1 is the count to Strickland. Fakes the throw back to second. Schofield jogs back. Two one now. 2 outs. Top of the 6th. That pitch missing for a ball. 3-1 now. Goes the count here to Mullenix. India's getting a couple of guys starting to warm up in the bullpen. So the 3-1 pitch coming from Roten. Fastball missing. And that's a walk. So now with runners on first and second, I believe this will be Cook coming to the plate.
Now batting the left fielder, number 21, Dylan Cook.
Cook 0 for 1 with the walk. He grounded out to the pitcher to end the 4th. We'll dig in here, trying to spark a rally for Snead State. That pitch at the knees, called a strike for Roten. Cook playing left field, batting in that number 5 spot. 2 outs, runners on first and second for the Parsons. Roten's pitch, breaking pitch, hangs up outside. Even with the count now at 1-1. Talked about it, a good crowd. Not getting ideal weather for today's doubleheader here in Fulton. That pitch at the knees, a strike. 1-2 now is the count here on Cook. India's trying to get out of this inning with minimum damage done. 1-2 is the count. There's 2 outs to Cook with runners on first and second for Snead State. ICC 5-1 lead here in game 2. Ground ball, and it's blocked up nicely over at first, and that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. So they do get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. So we'll move to the bottom of the 6th and be back with more right after this.
1 run off of 2 hits and no errors.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
I love these soft pretzel twists.
They're so soft and salty, I like to sample them. That was a tongue twister!
Here's another one. Peter Piper picked a pack of perfect pretzels.
Hold up. Your last name is Piper?
Try a new warm and buttery soft pretzel twist with the Sonic Fruit Fizz. This is how you Sonic.
Helen, don't you know Little Caesars has the extra most asbestos for $6?
$6? I gotta sit down.
Yeah, it has the most cheese and pepperoni for the nation's best price.
Most cheese and most pepperoni? I gotta sit all the way down.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza.
And welcome back now, 5-1 as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Leading off for the Indians, number 10, Jackson Lancaster.
Looks like Cade Williams pitching now for the Parsons. I don't know, he may have been in a couple of innings ago. Their numbers are extremely hard to pick up on. Has this pitch fouled out of play, going towards the trees. So it'll be Lancaster, Lewis, and Sandroni, the 7, 8, 9 batters due up here for the Indians. In the bottom of the 6th, ICC with a 5-1 lead here in game 2. Ground ball, second baseman waiting on it, goes down and gets it, throws it across the way, had to hurry as Lancaster showed off some pretty good speed there, got beat by a step and a half. on the 4-3 putout for the first out of the inning. And now up is going to be Connor Lewis.
Now batting the shortstop, number 13, Connor Lewis.
Lewis has been a tough out for the Parsons, I should say, tonight. He had a 2-run double. He's also had a single. He's scored each time he's been on a base as well. So ICC would like to get those runs back, or that run back from the top part of the inning. They lead it 5-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Beautiful breaking pitch, called a strike. Oh, 1 is the count here to Connor Lewis, the shortstop. Lewis pops this one up. First baseman going over in foul territory, chasing over and makes the play. Snow cone catch over there in foul territory. Able to get Lewis out for the first time
now batting the second baseman, number 21, Ray Sandroni.
That was a tough play over there by the first baseman, as he not only was looking up, but looking in towards the lights, and had to make that catch near his hip that time. So now 2 away as Ray Sandroni at the plate. He reached on an error, singled in his previous at-bat. Stands in, takes that breaking pitch for a ball. Tennis was scheduled to travel to Holmes tomorrow. That match has been postponed. Sandroni rips one, and it's off the glove of the shortstop. I want to credit him with a hit, though, as that one's a slow roller. Would have been a tough play deep in the hole there. So I'm going to call it a hit for Sandroni, and that's going to be his second.
Now batting the left fielder, number 4, Trey DeSantis.
Of course, now if you're scoring that in Tuscaloosa, it's an error for the visiting team, but a hit for the home team. And I've got that as the Indians' 11th hit of the ball game. Back to the top of the lineup. This is Trey DeSantis, who walked his last time up. He does have a pair of strikeouts on the afternoon. And, nearly hit by the pitch that time. As that was a little bit of high heat. One of those you typically say stand in and take it, but I don't know if you're going to take a fastball to the shoulder. That was clipping in the 80s that time. I'm not anyway. Snap throw over to first, not in time as Sandroni dives back safely. 2 outs. 1-0 is the count here to Trey DeSantis. Number 1 batter in the lineup today in game 2. Beautiful breaking pitch across for a strike, even though the count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, and a runner on first. Bottom of the 6th, ICC leading Snead State 5-1 here in game 2. ICC won 5-4 in the first game of the day. Couldn't hold off from the high heat that time. 1-2 now is the count. That was just fastball high, and DeSantis just couldn't catch up with it that time. 1-2 goes the count here for the freshman out of Laurel. One-two pitch coming. And there's a little flare out to right field. Nice job going with the pitch and getting the hit there. And so that's going to be a single for DeSantis, and that's going to be his first hit of the day. Clutch 2-out hit again there for the Indians.
Now batting the third baseman, number 15, Kyle Krieger.
Speaking of tough outs, Kyle Krieger has been a tough out this afternoon as well. He's got 3 triples and an RBI. Or excuse me, 3 singles and an RBI. And so he's going to try to keep this 2-out rally alive here for the Indians. Saw the Indians plate 4 runs in game 1 with 2 outs, trying to see if they can do that again here, leading 5-1 in the bottom of the 6th in game 2. This pitch popped a mile high, shortstop going over and squeezes it for out number 3. I think I jinxed both Lewis and Krieger because I talked about both of them being tough outs, and then they promptly pop up in each inning. The Indians couldn't get the run back, but they do lead it.
For the Indians, there were no runs off of 2 hits and
5-1. We're going to take a break. Indians 3 outs away from sweeping the Parsons here in the home opener. We'll take a break and be back with more on Let'sGoICCTV.com right after this. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
And welcome back. Now as we move to the top of the 7th inning, as Jonathan Weeks, a pitcher out of Pontotoc, Mississippi, will enter to pitch here.
Parsons, number 32, Zach Williams.
It'll be Williams leading things off here for the Parsons in the top of the 7th inning, game 2. ICC trying to find a way to hold on to get the sweep here. Pitch across for a strike. Coach Collier talked about part of his plan was to try to get some guys some innings here in the early stages of them to see how active and live they are, their arms are in gameplay. As there's a flare out to right field. Right fielder comes on and making the play. Take a look at that one on the Little Caesars replay. What a diving effort out there in right field.
Shortstop, number 2, Joseph Hartsfield.
And that's going to be retired Williams for the 3rd time today. He actually reached on a fielder's choice back in the 2nd, though. And now Hartsfield will come to the plate with 1 out. What a great play out there in right field. I believe that may still be Wallace out there in right field. So 1 out now, top of the 7th. ICC leading 5-1. That pitch missing outside for a ball. Wallace, we talked about, a linebacker for the football team, not afraid of getting out there and getting dirty after that flare out to right field. Fastball missing low. 2-0 now is the count. So the 2-0 pitch coming from Weeks. Fastball had a little bit of a tail on it. Goes across for a strike. 2-1 now is the count here to Hartsfield. Bobo due up. Fastball across for a strike. 2-2 now is the count here on Hartsfield. That pitch missing low. 3-2 now goes the count. This flare out of play will stay at 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Hartsfield at the plate. Pitch coming. Ground ball. Shortstop comes over, grabs it. Going to have to hurry. Gets it across the way and the putout. Nice stretch over there at first to keep his foot on the bag. 6-3 on the putout.
Now batting the catcher, number 19, Jacob Bobo.
Hartsfield, and now up will be the catcher Hartsfield. Or excuse me, the catcher Bobo. Hartsfield was just the batter who was retired. Bobo will come in here, and he is 0 for 2 on the day. He has struck out to end the 5th, had a strikeout to start the 3rd. Fastball across for a strike. 0-1 is the count here. Pitch coming. Ground ball. And it's going to be misplayed by the Indians. So I did not see what happened there on the play. So as I was looking down,
number 10, Riley Shaw.
Credits him with a hit. We'll go back and check Coach Collier's stat at the end of the day to see if that's what the case was there. Put a question mark next to that as I said, was looking down trying to make some notes as that pitch across for a strike. This is Shaw, I believe, at the plate. He doubled his last time up, scored the only run so far in the game for the Parsons. Fastball from Weeks, missing low. 1-1 now is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, and a runner on first. This pitch fouled out of play. And the count now goes 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first here. ICC leading 5-1. Weeks set to deliver. Breaking pitch, missing out wide. 2-2 now goes the count. And that pitch just missing. 3-2 now goes the count here to Shaw. And there's ball 4. So Shaw draws the walk. And we go back to the top of the lineup now, and I believe this should be Hansen coming to the plate, and yes, it will.
Now batting for the Parsons, number 30, Caleb Hansen.
So Shaw will reach on the walk, and Caleb Hansen, who singled but was retired on a fielder's choice, will dig in here. He's batting in place of Rich, the DH, who was 0 for 2 in Game 2. He actually had 3 singles in the first game of the day. Fastball across for a strike. 0-1 now is the count. So Weeks on the hill here. Breaking pitch, and it's a beauty. Quickly ahead in the count now. 0-2 is Weeks on Hansen. So 0-2 pitch coming. Fastball just missing outside. Couldn't get him to chase one after working inside a couple of times. 1-2 now is the count here to Hansen. 1-2 pitch coming. There's strike 3, and that'll do it. The Indians win it by the final score of 5-1. And a special victory here, folks. Coach Rick Collier picks up win 500 of his career. We're going to step away and come back with more of the Renaissance Bank postgame report right after this. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? With tonight's win, Coach Rick Collier just picked up his 500th win as head coach of the Indians. Coach Collier continues to build on his all-time winning record here at ICC, so congratulations to Coach Rick Collier on winning number 500 here at ICC.
And welcome back to the Renaissance Bank postgame report. ICC wins game 2 by the final score of 5-1. And as you just heard there over the PA system, Coach Rick Collier earns his 500th win as head coach of the Indians. A special victory tonight here for Coach Collier. The Indians improved to 4-0 on the season. A big day for the Indians, getting a sweep against Snead State. Let's take a look back at some of the highlights of today's game. Kyle Kreger goes 3 for 4 with 3 singles, 2 runs scored. He did have an RBI. Then you had Connor Lewis. He went 2 for 3 with a 2-run double, a single, and 2 runs scored. Our Sonic star of the game, though, is going to be Austin King, Fulton native, in his collegiate debut, going 5 innings, giving up no hits, striking out 6, as Coach Collier gets the bat. And now it's going to be even worse because they have a tradition where they run through the line here and they give the coaches an aggressive pat on the back, maybe a little bit lower, on picking up the win when they do get the sweeps there. But I know Coach Collier, even though it's cold, he's going to have a big-time smile on his face after picking up his 500th win of the season. We'll have some special presentations later this evening on Let's Go ICC on Twitter as well. You want to be sure to stay tuned for that. Also on the Facebook page and Let's Go ICC.com. So the Indians win it 5-4 in game 1. They pick up the 5-1 win here in game 1. Your final line: 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Parsons. And for the Indians, it was 5 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error. So that's going to do it for Raphael Henry, Adam Gore, Lee Adams, Cal Brown in the house as well. We appreciate you tuning in this afternoon for ICC's presentation of ICC baseball here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Reminding you that our next broadcast will be Monday night here on Let'sGoICCTV.com when we travel to East Mississippi for basketball here on the Red Channel. Softball scheduled to play for Tuesday. If that does play, we'll try to figure out if we're going to be on red or blue there. And then don't forget our next radio broadcast on FM 95 Sports will be Thursday night, sophomore night, as Northwest comes to town in basketball action. We'll see you next time, folks. Have a great weekend. And as always, Roll Tribe. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.